Oof.
Okay, so in a 1,30,000 capacity Narendra Modi Stadium, the third T20I will see India having a bat. And they have one change. Is it Prithvi Shaw? No. It's Umran Malik. Umran Malik is in for Yajuvendra Chahal, the guy who got a wicket maiden, did not bowl out his full quota, and looking at the pitch, Hardik Pandya said, Chahal is out, Umran Malik is in.
I mean, look, let's be fair. Over the last few games, I think Kuldeep had pretty much silently established himself as India's first choice spinner.
Yep.
As in the only full-time spinner. So I think it's not much of a surprise that Yuzi makes way. And don't forget, last time around, it was a very helpful pitch where even part-time spinners were able to generate banana spin.
Absolutely. So that is the playing 11 that we have got. So people who are joining us now, India have chosen to bat, and this is the playing 11. Ishan Kishan, Shubman Gill, Rahul Tripathi, Sky, Hardik, Deepak Hooda, Washington Sundar, Shivam Mavi, Kuldeep Yadav, Umran Malik and Arshdeep Singh. Whereas for the New Zealand team, there is one change. It looks like there is no Jacob Duffy and Ben Lister is in his place.
Duffy, to be fair, had been doing okay in the T20s, especially the first one. I remember he bowled some nice swing bowling to Rahul Tripathi, got him very dodgy.
Yes. So that is why now this pitch looks as if it is going to be, so Finn Allen. Okay, so this is the New Zealand 11. Finn Allen, Devon Conway, Mark Chapman, Daryl Mitchell, Glenn Phillips, Mitchell Santner, Michael Bracewell. Very strong batting lineup. Ish Sodhi, Ben Lister, Lockie Ferguson and Blair Tickner.
So Ben Lister is batting above Lockie.
Yes.
Interesting.
He's like the Trent Bolt.
Got it.
The left arm pacer. So Ben Lister is making his debut.
Correct?
Yes, his T20I debut.
Getting handed the cap as we speak.
Yes, and if I have to tell you a bit about Ben Lister, I'll exactly tell you where he is from. Benjamin Lister he's been touted as the new Trent Bolt when it comes to, because he's left arm medium and he hails from Auckland. And in T20s, if you have to look at it, 41 T20s, 43 wickets at an economy rate of 8.
That's not bad, but it shows that he's an attacking bowler for sure.
Yes.
Because economy doesn't get that much of a mention, but he's getting you at least a wicket a game.
26.2 and a strike rate of 19.4.
Ooh.
That's pretty decent. And then if you have to look at the left arm option, so now you've got Santner, then you've got Ben Lister now.
And to be fair, we note for a fact that India do tend to sometimes, the batsmen do tend to struggle a little bit against the left arm pacer. So could be interesting. You've never played this Ben Lister, so who knows, maybe it's something that could actually work out in their favor if he has a good match.
Yes.
Never really know.
And remember, this is your last T20I
for a while
going to play. After that, you'll play Australia 4 tests, you'll play 3 ODIs, and then you have a 2-month IPL.
Correct.
And after that, you have the West Indies tour in June, July, which will be 3 ODIs and 3 T20Is, or maybe 5 ODIs and 3 T20Is. Maybe. We don't know the tentative schedule of the the West Indies India series. So let's just sum up the series for you, how it has been. One-sided affair in the ODIs, except the first ODI, where you saw Michael Bracewell and Mitchell Santner put up a very brave stand, and they somehow managed to get New Zealand very close, only to fall short by 12 runs. Very lopsided affair in Ranchi, wherein they were bowled out, in Raipur, where they were bundled out for 108. In Indore, New Zealand did put up a fight, but they fell short again. So the ODIs were blank 3-0. In Ranchi, New Zealand on a square turner managed to outfox India. 27 runs that Arshdeep Singh gave. Those 2 maiden overs that were bowled. And so New Zealand managed to scamper home by 21 runs. In Lucknow at the Ekana Stadium, oh boy, there was a problem with the pitch. So Hardik Pandya labelled it as a bad pitch. Surya, I think he had a pretty okayish view of the pitch. The curator was sacked because in the chase of 99,
India took 19.5 overs to get there.
Exactly. And now let us see how this pans out in Ahmedabad. Because see, Ahmedabad is a very, very true wicket. It will be a flat deck, total of 160, 170 in that sense. So for people who are joining us now, let me just give you an update about what has India done. Yeah. Now there will be a special felicitation function. The India under 19 women's cricketers who gave India women their first ever ICC trophy of any sort, they will be felicitated at the Narendra Modi Stadium, and Sachin Tendulkar is going to felicitate them. However, I will come to the other topics later, but the first major thing that I would like to see is that the reaction that the fans have had is very, very disappointing. Because when the India women's cricket team landed, normally if the men had done it, you would have seen a lot of dhol, flowers would have been showered, the road from the airport to their hotel or anything, they would have been chock-a-block. Instead, you got silence. There was no one to get them. There was no one to receive them. There was no one to actually tell them well done. It was only in tweets. It was only in social media. The social media warriors only were greeting them. No physical people were present at that point in time. Which begs the question, have we changed our outlook to the India women cricketers? Be it any age group, be it under 19, be it women cricketers. Because when you lost in the final in 2017 and in 2020, you said, oh, well played, well played, well played. I understand. Because you didn't celebrate their win, you didn't criticize their losses. Now, when you don't celebrate a win, especially after win, let's not forget, it was an ICC event. Does this kind of behavior that no one came to actually receive them, no one actually came to ensure that we went overboard, that represents a problem for me. And it highlights why the Indian cricket fan is glory hunting. They just want glory. They don't want, and that too, selective glory. Very selective glory. Which is why the reaction from the Indian cricket fans and a lot of the fraternity is very, very, very disappointing. And that's why now, today, in the stadium, they will get felicitated. And that is why it is going to be, I hope that it is a very good felicitation. Ideally, it should have started now by 6:30 at the stadium, but it seems you don't have any live visuals of that yet. Maybe at 6:45, perhaps there may be a short 10 to 15 minute. Hope so. So that is the way it is. And as I had said, in the New Zealand team, only one change: Jacob Duffy out. Ben Lister, the left arm medium pacer from Auckland, is in. Lockie Ferguson, Blair Tickner, these are your three pacers. Ish Sodhi, Mitchell Sandner, Michael Bracewell, Mark Chapman, they are your four spinners. Daryl Mitchell can be your dibbly-dobbly. So they have 8 bowling options in the New Zealand team. And as far as Prithvi Shaw is concerned, yes, he will not get a chance in this T20I series. One hopes that he does well in the IPL.
And truth be told, I've been hearing a lot of people say about, it's been unfair on Prithvi and people questioning Ishan's play. See, the problem with dropping Ishan right now, and I understand that there are legitimate doubts, I may add, about his technique when it comes to playing quality swing bowling or techniques when it comes to playing, say, for instance, quality fast bowling, and perhaps more importantly also when it comes to his spin. Spin at times also he can be a little suspect. So because of that, what happens is that, there are a lot of questions, and now the problem when it comes to replacing him is if you are dropping him, then you're making at least 2 changes to the team, because your only other opener in the team, only other wicket keeper is Jitesh, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
And Jitesh doesn't bat at the top of the order.
Exactly.
So if you have to bring in Jitesh, you're rejigging the entire batting lineup. And with Prithvi, I think with Prithvi, the other problem would be is his great form or his best form in recent times has been in a longer format of the game.
Absolutely.
Maybe they're just keeping him in the squad because they want him to know that, look, this is not, we are considering you in fact the scheme of things. We're not overlooking you. So I think that's the main reason he's there. Of course,
yes. Yeah, meet Sony. Yes, you're right. Ishan and Sky, it's a debut ground. Remember, they did make their debuts in the 5-match series against England.
Correct.
And India won that 3-2. And the first few games had fans. After that, the second wave of COVID came, and that is the problem. And there we have the winners of the under-19 women's cricket team, and they are getting a big felicitation from Sachin Tendulkar. That is Gongadi Trisha that we are seeing, Soumya Tiwari, and one of the stars in that team, Parshvi Chopra. Remember, Parshvi Chopra was one of the leading wicket takers for India in that under-19 setup. There is Richa Ghosh, there is Shefali Verma, there is Titash Sadhu there. And I think the one on the end towards it, that is Harli Gala. Shweta Sehrawat is there. And That's how it is. I mean, see, now they are getting their due in front of thousands. But unfortunately, the way how they came from the airport to here, and remember, no hotels could be arranged for them because wedding season in Ahmedabad, and that's why no posh hotels could be done. Really? Indeed. That's how it is. So that is why it is going to happen now. And the women's team are getting felicitated in a big way there. Sachin Tendulkar is giving a good speech. And once we get the thing, let us see how it happens. So
let's take a couple of comments.
Yeah.
Just scroll up slightly. There was a comment, I think, from Akash Bhardwaj saying that the way Yuzi is treated, is it fair? Look, if Kuldeep were dropped, we'd be saying it's unfair on him too. Unfortunately, India have 2 top-class spinners and only have space for 1. And I understand the logic of dropping Yuzi. He was brought back in, having recently been made the de facto second choice, only because the pitch was quite clearly favoring spin. Exactly. So, on a pitch which was not going to favor, you were going to have to drop one of them. It was always going to be Yuzi because Kuldeep in recent times has quietly suddenly established himself as the first choice spinner again. So, I agree that, maybe it's not fair, but you can't be playing 2 full-time spinners in the 11 right now.
Exactly.
Not the way the team is structured. So,
absolutely. So yes, Yuzi, I think he has been treated a bit unfairly. See, he performed well in 2 seasons. Okay. But
didn't get to play a World
Cup. The biggest mystery of our times. And now Yuzi is bowled 2 overs, got beautiful wickets. The one, I think, I don't know who was that guy. I think that was the ball of the century. I forget to recollect the batsman. And he bowled a wicket maiden. 2 overs, you didn't bowl out his full quota, and now you drop him in Ahmedabad. It's really going to be a problem. So that is why it's very unfair on Yuzi the way, but that's how Indian cricket is nowadays. Lot of competitive people.
There's too much talent and too little space.
Yes. So GGK is like saying you can't blame fans if they don't favor women T20 without extra space or big sixes. Hope women's IPL changes it. 2 short boundaries in women's T20. GGK totally disagree.
Then you may as well, like fans in general talk about, oh, you should support women's cricket, Now you're saying you can't blame fans. Pick one side, my friend. It doesn't work both ways. You cannot have your cake and eat it too.
Because see, we set the trend, we have given it, but then if the fans don't watch it, then whose fault is it? We have been giving it. We on Sports Today have been giving all details about the Under-19 Women's World Cup ever since it began.
Correct.
Yes, we even didn't understand the format also, because we had to go back to 2003 to analyze what the format was.
Correct.
And it was the points carried forward in the Super 6 stage. It was tough to understand, but then we did it, didn't we? So we had to do it, and see, we do it irrespective of whether fans like it or not. If the fans want to do it, they will watch it. If they cannot, then we leave it to them. But then we cannot say that, okay, we can't blame the fans because we don't know them. Then we cannot comment on them also, right?
No, I mean, to be fair, if you don't know them, what is that supposed to mean? They're under-19 cricketers. You're not expected to quote-unquote know them. They're representing your nation. You're supposed to support them. Simple as that.
Exactly. So that is why it is a very big issue that I see here. It's convenient fandom, and I see it as a very convenient supporting. That is the problem. So that is why it is a big problem that I will highlight here, that we have to be holistically supportive or holistically not supportive. If you are not supporting them, fine. You say that we are not supporting them, fine. We will not comment on them also. Totally understandable, because there are far too many things to do. Far too many things. Then one question to you, see, if you have to pick one in your world test, I'll come to that later. There was something up, Anurag, just go up a bit. Up, even up. Yeah, meet Sony, we know that joke. Rahul Tripathi will flop today because it's Narendra Modi Stadium. Yes, we are not getting into the political stuff of it. Go up even further. Yeah, we are not getting into the politics of it, absolutely. I'll come to that Akash Bharadwaj later if there are anything. Yeah. No, E is equal to MC squares. Okay, he's talking about the WTC. E is equal to MC square. Look, if you have to read the whole thing, if I say, irrespective of the score line, just do that. E is equal to MC square, because see, wrong interpretation is not a wrong interpretation. Even if India wins 4 games, even if India win 3 games, do the math yourself. 68.2 Sri Lanka will have, 68.1 India will have, because Sri Lanka have benefited from playing less and getting more. India are not benefiting because they have played more and secured less. See, you can only get to 147 points, India, out of 216 that can come. Remember, 18 tests, 18 test matches India will play in this cycle. Calculate that, and that is why the equation is very simple, E is equal to MC square. If India win by any margin, if Sri Lanka get 2, because they have got how many points? They'll have 64, but they have played lesser. That is why they'll get to 68.2 percentage points. India will get to 68.1 if they have a 4-0 win, because you had already messed up in all the other previous series as well. So E is equal to MC square. That is my interpretation of it. If Sri Lanka loses 1, irrespective then of whatever is the series thing, India will be through to the final, because there's no negative points in the WTC. So I hope that that perception is clear, because you try out any predictor, even in the ICC, even on any other website, you try the predictor. If India win 3-0 or 4-0, it doesn't matter. Sri Lanka, if they win 2, they get a superior percentage points. That is the thing. It doesn't depend on the points, percentage points. That is why there is no misperception about this whole thing. It has been done very, very diligently. Thank you for pointing it out. That means you've seen it. But again, if it is 3-0 or 4-0 in favor of India also, Sri Lanka, if they get 2, doesn't matter. Because the percentage points that Sri Lanka will get is far more than India. Because the overall that they have played, India's overall and the points accumulated is a bit problematic. That is why. But if Sri Lanka draw or lose a game, India are through. It's India versus Australia in the final. So that is why E is equal to MC square. I will be I'm grateful for the thing, but the math has been done. It's not a wrong interpretation. Check it out. Will Olympics be played?
No.
Okay. If India win 4-0 at SL, won't it be Australia knocked out? No, GGK. Because the percentage points,
not this thing.
Because the percentage points that Australia have accumulated is way too much. Way too much. E is equal to MC square. How Sri Lanka has superior point? Because they got more points by playing less. Remember, India have played more, but they have not gotten the required points. See, for example, how is the percentage points calculated? If you are playing 20 tests in the calendar year, okay, then your maximum percentage points that you'll get is 240. Supposing you've gotten only 120. 120 divided by 240 into 100, what does that give you? 50 percentage points.
Read what he just said.
If Sri Lanka win both matches, Sri Lanka have 61.1 percentage points. But again, that's what I'm saying. Even if India win, if you try any of the predictors, if you try any of the engines, 4-0 and 2-0, you will still have a better percentage points. Remember, I'm saying E is equal to MC square. 1 loss and India are out. Sri Lanka are out. Very well. So 1 loss. So I will come to that individually with you later. Okay. If India win 4-0, no GGK, if India win 4-0, Sri Lanka also win, Australia will still go through. Their percentage points is way too high. 75 percentage points. So that is why. And plus India also have penalty. They have penalty percentage points also. Let us not forget that factor also. They have penalty for slow over rate. That will also be factored in. So let's hold your horses. If India win, they have 68 points. That's what I was saying. If India win 4-0, they have 68.1 percentage points. That's what I've been saying. So I will have this debate later on. E is equal to MC square. I'll have it. First, I want your official name. Then and only then I can connect with you. Otherwise, I cannot connect with you. When is the next time you would see Prithvi show on Indian colors, you reckon, Shin-chan?
Good question. I think you'd have to wait a bit, because I think if Gil, Ishan don't actually, start producing some runs, clamor will grow, obviously among fans, but also, you'd be wanting to try something new, because this is a new setup. You'd be wanting to give the new guys time. But the real question is, how much time? How much time is too much time, especially for the T20Is where you won't be playing as many this year. So you want to actually have a talent, a talent pool which is strong enough. So maybe Shaw would be seen soon, but let's see.
Yep. Yes, Akash, I know it is just a preview that we are doing. India versus Australia on February 9th, which is going to begin. So that is why WTC final, to be honest, yes, it is India versus Australia, all but certain. All but certain. And I think India should be the favourites in the series because you haven't lost at home.
You know what's not all but certain? When I look at this India batting 11,
Yes.
I sometimes look at it and I think, are you playing Huda too low? Because recently, in recent times, when he's been scoring big runs, even in the IPL, he was not batting lower than 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Right now, you've got Tripathi at 3 and Sky at 4. And Huda's coming in at number 6. And truth be told, he's rather underwhelmed with the bat in recent T20s.
He has. Because I think he's not gotten the right position. See, Huda up the order is a far better proposition.
Correct.
Far better proposition because he's that anchor come aggressive player.
He can be aggressive when need be. Correct.
So that is why he can be that anchor come aggressive player at number 3. But if you're batting him at number 6 or 7, I think you're wasting him.
I mean, he used to be a number 5-6 player years back.
Sunrisers
I'm talking about,
Hyderabad.
2016. Not before, not now. I mean, a lot has changed in that time. So, I don't know.
Exactly. So that is why Huda has been wasted.
See, in fact, that's what GGK is saying. He's saying
Yeah.
that why not try Huda at 3, was good in T20s, and they're correct. I mean, that is why I'm saying that, he seems to be batting a little too low. And I understand that Rahul Tripathi himself has probably not done enough to be dropped. But I think with Sky there, see, you're certified that you have a Sky at 4. Maybe Huda at 3, I don't know, because he
But then
seems
I
But then who plays lower down the order? You don't have anyone lower down the order.
Exactly. So that is why the problem is, see, if you are expecting most of your star players to come back after June, then Deepak Huda anyway doesn't figure.
In
Wherever be it in 3 or number 6.
No, in T20s, he was playing. I mean, he wasn't there, even not in the playing 11, correct. But yeah, that's what. But I think they've kind of, let's assume for 1 second, that the star players are not in fact coming back.
But if they
Then
come
what?
back, then yeah, because see, Deepak Huda, you have to bowl him also well on a consistent basis.
Yeah, because right now they seem to, he's an optional bowler.
Exactly.
That okay,
But at least Hardik Pandya
uses him a lot more than what Rohit did.
what Rohit Sharma did. So
Correct.
that is one good thing that is happening with Deepak Huda at this point in time. So Deepak Huda, I think in an ideal world, he should have been at number 3. But I think because there are too many spots, there are too many issues, and too many batters also that are much above him, I think he will have to bat at number 6.
GGK not a bad shout, but that assumes you want to make wholesale changes. It's not a bad shout. I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
And what GGK is saying is that you could bring in Prithvi for Ishan, could bring in Jitesh for Tripathi with Huda at 3 and Jitesh at 6. Possible? Will they do it? Not until. It's not a bad idea.
I
It's
like
not a bad
Jitesh
idea at
at
all.
6.
No, Jitesh normally in recent times has batted at 5 or 6.
Yes.
That's why I remember he was drafted in for the ODIs against Sri Lanka when Sanju got injured.
Yeah.
Because he was as close to a like for like bat, lower down the order and can keep wickets.
Yep.
That was why he was drafted in.
So yes, I don't mind, but then again, this might happen around June, July now.
Yeah, because I think after this you're not playing any T20.
You're not playing any.
Yeah, you have an ODI series against, or test and ODIs against Australia. Then you have IPL 2 months. And IPL, by the way, is going to be making a lot of differences. Because again, that is the ultimate game changer. If someone has a really good IPL, then yeah.
Yes, and that is why if you look at it, IPL will be there for 3 months.
Not really.
Yeah.
No. Oh yeah, if you're counting the Women's Premier League.
Women's Premier League.
Yes, you're going to have 3 months of
It's
IPL.
going to happen from March 4th to March 26th. After that, you have the original IPL that will begin from March.
Most likely at least
April
March.
1 to May 30th.
Do we have a schedule yet, or is this reported?
It's reported. It's
Right.
reported. So Shinchan is asking us. I don't know if that's the original name. though.
Obviously not.
Don't you think the current Indian team is lacking finishers now, considering Hardik became an anchor player and Huda not being able to
Exactly.
do it?
That was my problem with Deepak Huda at 6, is that you have Hardik. I wouldn't call him an anchor player, but he definitely doesn't go bang from ball 1. He'll take 4-5 balls to settle in and then start hitting. Whereas with Huda, yeah, he's coming in lower than Hardik. He doesn't even have the luxury of those 4 or 5 balls. He's unable to hit from ball 1. And that is a bit of a problem, because then it's putting a lot of pressure on Washington.
Yes.
Who, again, to be fair, has really held up his end of the bargain with the bat. But again,
Washington could be that X factor if you want to promote him, or a surprise element.
True, you could, especially considering he's improved his batting a lot in recent times.
Yes, and remember, he kept India in the hunt in Ranchi. It was because of Sundar's 50. then that is the way how it is. Virat never got dropped. He always take rest against New Zealand. Yes, I agree.
I don't know. Let's see.
I agree. So, please include it. Abhinav Gupta is thanking you, Shane.
Oh, you're welcome, Abhinav. Please include it in discussions to gather more viewership. I would love to. That's not my call, but I would love to do that.
Yep, indeed. And any other further questions?
I think comments wise we're good, but we do have the players come out now, so we can actually.
Yeah, it's Ishan Kishan.
And Shubman Gill.
Big game for Ishan Kishan and Shubman Gill, because Shubman has managed only scores of 7 and 11 in the 2 matches.
Ishan too, I think, post that 200, he's just not looked like the same player. And obviously, we know he has his deficiencies, but you're getting this extended a run, make something out of it.
Exactly.
Make something out of it.
Exactly.
Oh, they're starting with Lister. Very, very interesting.
Yeah,
Let's actually watch a couple of his balls.
Let's see a couple of deliveries to see how Ben Lister is. Touted as the next Trent Bolt.
Exactly. Could be very, very interesting to watch.
Yeah, let's see how his action. I don't think it'll be like Bolt.
I don't think he'll be like Bolt. Bolt is slightly round arm.
Yeah. Whippy, like a snappy round arm action for Bolt.
Let's see how Lister looks. And again, I always say this about the Indian team. You see a left arm pacer come on and you're definitely a little trepidatious. Yeah. Because always.
What do you think is the par score on this pitch with India batting first? I think they have to make 180.
Well, at least. I think 180 is what they have to be targeting, because the Ahmedabad Stadium generally for white ball cricket has always encouraged, runs.
Yes.
So you do get plenty of runs. So I think, in that sense, let's see what Lister is like now.
Yeah.
And he's getting some movement.
He is
But his action lot simpler, lot more classical.
Yes, I mean, he's got a slightly high arm action.
His high arm.
Oh, but he bowls on the side of the hand.
Yeah, very interesting. I think he's doing that to get the ball to sing.
Yep. And remember, the last time a debutant harmed India big time was Matt Henry in that ODI in Wellington.
Correct.
Now let's see how this happens. And
he's getting the ball to move.
But what is his
to Kishan.
pace?
I don't think he's quick. He didn't seem quick. We're not getting the speed guns just yet.
Yeah, speed gun is just not working. I think
Ricky Patel is saying scope predictions. He's saying anything above 195. Ooh, big prediction, Ricky, my friend. Let's see.
Yeah,
I think they'll get
say 190 and India are winning.
I say 178 with an India win, but let's see. I think maybe early on they'll struggle to score a tad, especially considering the kind of movement this guy is getting.
Okay, I just want to look at the pace and then we'll go.
I don't think he's getting that much pace. Yeah. But the movement is plenty. Yeah, at most.
Pitched on middle and just.
Very. Yeah. See, 135. That's not bad. If you're getting the ball to move like that, 130 odd is good.
Yes. Bolt upright seam and decks away.
Very nice. Very good. Look at that. So nice.
Yeah. Varun Parvatneni, yes. Very important match for Rahul Tripathi.
Yeah, because I think he's had that one good knock and that's it. And truth be told, I think he needs a big knock to kind of,
Yes.
E equal to MC square saying 165.
Wow.
Very, very interesting.
He might be right.
Look at the movement. He's pitching that outside leg and Shubman is defending it outside off. That's mad.
131. So he's starting in the range of 130 to 135. That is his range.
Correct.
Plus he's getting movement.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Ben Lister.
And by the way, I will say this. He's bowling with no nerves. It's his debut match. We're only getting
the cauldron of the Narendra Modi Stadium.
Yeah, massive stadium, plenty of fans, on hand to witness. Look at that packed. I won't say it's a packed house, but it's definitely very.
I think it's
full.
more than half.
Overpitched it a tad.
Yeah.
Overpitched it a tad.
Yeah, good shot.
But I understand why he's looking higher up, because he's clearly getting that movement and he's very encouraged by it. But I think it was too wide. I think that was the problem.
Rohit Sharma better watch out.
Yes, Lister. Absolutely.
I don't think he is though, because India's best chance of playing New Zealand in the T20 now may come in the World Cup.
And again, there's no T20 World Cup till next year.
Yeah. Yeah. Where is Nikhil Naz and Rahul Rawat today? Maybe they're in Area 51. We don't know. So that is why.
And much better line. Especially considering he's getting the ball to move. So 6 runs and a boundary. Not too bad a start by him and not too bad a start for New Zealand, but they'll be hoping that they can restrict this team to a lot more overs than that.
You said 183, 178.
I said 178.
178, India winning, 190, India winning. But if New Zealand win, boy. 11-year jinx ends.
And not just that, there's going to be a lot of questions on this young team. So let's see how exactly this works out. You can join us in the middle of the innings. For now though, we're taking your leave. Thank you all for joining us again. again, don't forget, like, share, subscribe, tap the bell, leave us a comment, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook as well. Bye for now. Vanakkam. See you in the mid innings.
See you in the mid innings.